The new NBA and MLB season is in full swing, and BetOnline has you covered with the best odds and biggest promotions and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. Head to BetOnline today to stay updated on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here.
If you're looking to streamline your audio advertising buys and maximize your revenue, look no further than Triton Digital's programmatic audio advertising exchange, A2X. The private exchange consists of only licensed broadcasters and top-tier internet radio publishers, assuring the quality inventory and brand safety you can trust. Visit www.tritondigital.com to learn more.
It can be used to scrub your body. It can be used to wash your sheets. It can be used to clean your dog or your dishes and even brush your teeth. This 165-year-old story is about the passion of a family, overcoming tragedy, and the unrelenting conviction of one's beliefs. But at its core, it is about the idea that we are all one, connected to each other and Spaceship Earth. With a past that has not only seen 2 world wars and gone through one of the darkest times on our planet, it has also given us an iconic packaging label that provides hours of bathroom reading material. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Dr. Bronner's Magic Soaps.
You're all jazzed up, nearly having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on, it's on, it's on, it's on brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa.
I'm Jon.
I'm Marisa.
Well, here we are again.
Jon, I have one question.
Yeah.
How'd you get the chicken?
What chicken?
You sent me a text message yesterday asking if I was going to Costco.
Yeah, and you weren't going to Costco.
I disappointed you by saying no, and then I begged you to let me know what you wanted from Costco. An hour later, you sent me a picture of your plate with Costco chicken on it. How did you get the chicken, Jon?
Do you really think you were the only person I wrote to see if they were going to Costco?
So you get a craving for Costco chicken, and then this is how your mind works.
Yeah. Who do I know? Okay, here we are. Everyone's getting ready for Easter. Who has a Costco membership? Who's probably going there? Mm-hmm. And I texted you an order.
How many?
3. 3 people. I texted you, my neighbor Nick, and my friend Liz.
Who took the bait?
Liz. Nick was like, I don't think I am. He's like, I don't know why about the membership. I've only gone one time for one chicken, and I've had the membership for 6 months.
And you're like, okay.
I was like, that's one expensive chicken. Next. And then you were like, you were so off-brand with your reply. You're like, because you were having an Easter party. You're like, already went to Lassen's and Albertsons, 2 stores you have never mentioned in your life. You guys always go to Costco.
This is what makes it tough, because Costco has 50 things. Other stores have 30 things. So it's just you have to look at your list and assess which store is the most practical. And you're going to be missing things. Did I get juice boxes? No. Was it fine? Sure.
Listen, I understand that. I go to the store that makes sense for me to go to. I've just known you forever, and I've never heard you say, I'm going to Albertsons and Lassen's. Be back later. And
it's very off-brand for me.
Of all days, the day before you're having a party, I assumed you'd go to Costco. You're like, no, Liz, dear sweet. Liz comes through. She's like, I think I might go there. What are you looking for? I'm like, a chicken. She's like, you like them real brown, don't you? I was like, I do. I do, Liz.
Does it feel good to be seen, to be known so well? Is there any better pleasure on earth than to be known so well by your friends?
It's kind of a double-edged sword, because I do love that a lot of my friends know the things that I'm very loyal to. But then it's also, there's like that kiss of crazy. Like, she knows that I only want a dark bird. She's so nice. She not only went, she's like, we live very close to each other. But she's like, I'll drop it off. She texts me like, I'm here. She got one for herself too. Let me pick the darkest chicken, and it was delicious. And here, I'm trying to change. I'm trying to be.
I have never heard you try to change. And we've been friends for 17 years.
Okay.
No, you're never. I mean, you're just kind of like, this is me.
I quit smoking.
You did quit smoking, yeah. But it wasn't like, I'm trying to quit smoking.
Yeah.
You were in the hospital, you came out, you stopped smoking. That's not the point. I mean, you're not somebody who I feel like I make a lot of declarative kind of statements of like, this is me now. Like I'll do something one time and I'm like, I want to do this forever. Like an exercise thing or some kind of like hobby where I'll kind of think, I'm going to get really into this. You're not somebody who's really buying into that, like New Year's resolution-y or kind of like New Year, New Me.
I don't think you know me at all. You know what?
Enlighten me.
Here's what I'll say. As outgoing as I am, I'm also very private with a lot of things, so I can see it through both of our eyes.
Okay.
I could see why you think that, but I also know the whole me, so I know when I'm trying to improve.
What I wouldn't give to know the whole Jon.
It's not pretty. It's not. I know you think that. It's like just how you want to see my butt. I don't know why. It's not pretty. I'm the only one equipped to handle 100% of Jon.
You're the only one who can handle that tush.
Yes, nobody wants to see this tush but me.
I can handle it. Let me try.
No,
Let me try.
no. You like me for this. Like I'm aware enough to know how much I can give you, how much I can give everyone for them to be happy.
Before I start to turn on you?
Yeah. This pod already has me scared. I'm like, I feel like every week it's like the scale, like how crazy can I show all these people I don't know?
So what's this? So you're trying to change in theory. Okay, so what does this have to do with your Costco chicken?
I don't even remember how we got to this. Oh, here we go. There's been times where I'll get a Costco chicken because I'm craving it, and I'll eat a little bit of it. I'll eat all the skin. And then stick it in the fridge and forget about it. And it goes bad. And a few days later,
so you just bought $5 worth of skin?
Yeah. See?
$5 bag of skin.
Yeah, this is why I don't show you everything. Yes, I bought $5 worth of skin. I stood in the kitchen, peeling skin off of a chicken, salting it, rolling it up like I roll up everything, like the cheese for my pizza and everything else, and I ate the skin. And this time I was like, Jon, you're not going to do that. Let's use this whole bird. Maybe it's because of this episode. This guy is all about like, we're all in this together, do everything, use everything, recycle, blah, blah, blah. No, blah, blah, blah. No, it's great. But I was like, I'm going to do it. So I looked up recipes. I had chicken and corn once already. I made a chicken salad from like a recipe with a bunch of things in it.
You're like the Native American using the whole buffalo.
No, but I saw mandarin oranges at Trader Joe's. I was like, I'm going to make a Chinese chicken salad.
Great.
I'm really trying to use the whole thing, which for me,
Fantastic.
and maybe everyone does that. I'm bad at it, but I'm trying.
That's great.
Thank you.
We celebrate all sides of you, flat ass and all.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So that's how I got the chicken.
Nothing is simple with you. I love it.
Nothing is simple with me, and I know that. All right, so you're just learning about what we're doing. We're doing Dr. Bronner's Magic Soap. This is a brand. Last year, they celebrated their 75th anniversary. It's the 75th anniversary of Dr. Bronner's, but 165th anniversary of this one family making soap.
Wow.
It is a story. We are going to go through a lot of things. It's a little meaty. I'm going to try to not get too Jon researchy on it, but I already did. It's the top-selling natural brand of soaps in North America. You probably have seen it in the store. There's like 6 different scents. They come in a large clear bottle with a label on it that just has a ton of writing all over it.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're in just every grocery store now, but for a while it was kind of like a health food kind of thing, but now I'm sure they're in Walmart, Target, yeah.
They weren't in Walmart for a long time, but then they don't seem like a greedy company. They don't seem like we got to get into Walmart because we want more money. So I'm assuming something happened to get them in there. But like, have you ever used the soap? I've only had a couple of bottles of it myself. I've had one bottle of the iconic peppermint soap.
Rule number 1, don't wash your genitals with the peppermint soap.
Bit tingly.
A bit tingly, yeah.
Bit tingly. Yeah, and that's why I said that about the toothpaste in the open, because there were people like, it's like sometimes I think people just be like, you can use it for everything. I use it for toothpaste. And the articles I've read were like, yeah, I tried it. It tastes like you're brushing your teeth with soap. It's not like, oh, cool. It's also flavorful.
It's Castile soap.
Castile soap.
Castile soap. Yeah. So of course it's not toothpaste.
No.
Technically, I'm sure you could brush your teeth with a lot of things.
Yeah, it's not toothpaste. But they do have, and now the granddaughter of the guy who created it, Lisa Bronner, she runs a website and she has all these tips and tricks on how to use it. She keeps a breakdown for like every product they have and all the different ways that you can use it. And It is a very versatile soap. I've only had it and used it in the shower. It's very runny. I like a creamier, body wash, I guess. But I have used it. I've had I was actually going to bring it over here to look at it. I've had it in my shower so long that it's kind of like congealed.
Wait, you have one active right now in your shower?
I have one active, yeah.
Peppermint?
Peppermint. But it was kind of like, almost like jelly. So I was
How long has it been in there?
Honestly, no idea.
Like 5+ years?
Well, COVID, it's like everything is like, that whole like 3 years like didn't count.
Yeah.
So
but it
probably
adds up,
5 years, yeah.
Wow.
Because I doubt I ran out during COVID and was like, I got to grab a bottle of Dr. Bronner's for the first time.
I got to feel that tingle on my genitals.
So, yeah, do you have any connection with it? Or
I'm a fan of the brand. I haven't bought a bottle in a long time, and I just love the look of it. It gives me a lot of pleasure to look at it. I love all the words. I love staring at it in the shower, reading all the little funny isms. I find it to be a wonderful product. It is quite runny, but I think that's just because they're not pumping it with whatever fillers that like emulsify it and like make it like extra creamy and thick. It's just kind of like, it seems like it's functional. This is what it is. This is the consistency of this soap. If you don't like it, head on over to Dove, bitch. That's what they're saying. So I like Dr. Bronner's. And actually, this is making me think that I'm going to get a bottle next time I'm out at the store.
I love it. I hope that you do. I was looking.
Almond, is that one? Almond?
Almond is one.
I'm going to get almond.
There's lavender. That might be a lot of lavender.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, great. There. My job is done then. I've sold a bottle. You're welcome, Bronners.
Do you get like a penny or something every bottle you sell?
The day that we can get like a kickback on, we've definitely, since we've been doing this show, heard from people that are like, we bought Crocs, we're
slinging a lot of filet of fish these days.
A lot of people are like, I really sold that soft bun.
We got a message actually from a dissatisfied customer about the filet of fish.
We did. She's like, you guys really sold. Now it's when they like it, it's like they really like the way I describe it. When they don't like it, it's like she heard us talking about it. And she's like, you really made me want one. And then she's like, wasn't good. I do want to say there are good filet of fish and bad ones. You really got to get a fresh one. I don't know how you make that happen, but we're done with filet of fish. We've moved on. Now we're on to soap.
There you go.
Here we go. All right. So let's dive in. There's 5 generations of this family that have done this. We're going back. I made.
What?
I did my thing.
What?
I wrote a joke.
Oh God!
And I forgot about it. And it was just today. And I was like, that'll be funny. Every time I do this and then I'm sitting here, it makes no sense to have a written joke.
Humiliation, yeah. Okay, we'll read it.
Okay. That's how it starts. Okay, well, let's hop in the DeLorean and jump back to 1858.
Oh, God.
A Back to the Future joke. Because I feel like every show I've been doing lately keeps going back to the 1800s.
That's cute. Yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
Let's hop in the DeLorean.
All right,
your catchphrase. Merch.
Merch. Michael J. Fox. Oh, there's your movie.
Yeah, there's your movie.
Guy goes back. It's been done. All right, 1858. Generation 1. March 19, 1858, Emanuel Heilbronner received his soap master certificate in Germany.
Whoa. Certificate? You can become a certified soap master?
Yes. You get a certificate. He got...
Pew! That's me running away to go do that.
Be right back. Pew! Head to Germany. He got a marking of very good, and this allowed him to practice soap making as a profession.
God, everything except for like medicine was better in the past.
Because you had to be like, it was regulated.
You just get like certified, like that's your job. You go to college to be a soap maker, and then they're like, what do they mark him as? Like very good?
Very good.
They're like, your grade is very good.
You go out there and you clean this country up. God. I hope that's what they would tell everybody that got their certificate. Go clean this country up. So he gets a certificate. He sets up his first soap making operations in the basement of his house because of course he did. That's what they all do.
You know why I've never invented anything? I don't have a basement.
You know why I've never invented anything?
Why?
Because I'm lazy.
But maybe you're working on changing that, and I don't know.
Yeah. I come over tomorrow. Look what I invented.
That's between Jon and Jon. That's in the vault.
So he sets up his soap making operation down in the basement while his wife is upstairs with 11 children.
Oh.
11 children. Also of this time. How are we spending our days? We're making love and we're making soap. That's what we're going to do.
I can can think of a worse way to spend a day.
Yeah, there's definitely worse ways to spend a day. So he ends up inventing this liquid soap that we've been talking about.
Wow.
This is the first liquid Castile soap, and it is supplied to washrooms across Germany. Not bad for a first-generation soap maker with a marking of very good.
Is there a rating better than very good? Is there a great, or it's Germany, so it's maybe just like very good is the best?
Very good. I mean, yeah, I guess it depends how they say it.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It's very good.
Yeah. I've always found ratings to be very confusing, especially you're not in the collector's market, but lordy, there's so many.
I buy used books, and it'll be like poor, fair, good, very good. And sometimes I get it and I'm like, you call this good? I call this very good.
I'm usually the opposite.
Oh, really?
You call this good? I call this sad. Castile soap, if you don't know what it is, it's a multi-purpose cleaner. It's made from vegetable oils. It's vegan. It can be used for a lot of different things. It's safe for the body. It's safe for the home. It's a very versatile soap. So he invents that. Then several of his children follow in his footsteps in the soap making tradition. His daughter and her husband end up taking over the company that he has started in the basement, and 3 of his sons, realizing it doesn't make sense to have 2 soap making companies in the same town, they head to Heilbronn, which is a town where their name came from. They're the Heilbronners, but that wasn't even their real last name. Their actual last name was Einstein, but because in the early 1800s, Jewish last names were forbidden, they had to change their name to a German name.
Wow.
Yeah.
Albert Einstein. Remember him?
I do. He comes into play a very tiny bit. I'll just say it now because I don't even know if I kept it in my notes. Dr. Bronner, in many interviews and at different times, said that he was the nephew of Albert Einstein because his original name was Einstein.
Lie?
This has been debunked. He was not related in
That's
any
a very
way.
John move.
Yeah, talk to my uncle. Maybe you've heard of him. Albert Einstein.
Why, do you know that famous picture of Einstein going like this? Why was he doing that?
I would assume it's like we all are. You know, when you have your picture taken and the photographer's like, okay, be serious. All right, now get for the last one. Like, now everyone do a wacky face.
Do a silly one. And he went, that's fun.
He's like, yeah. I mean, even
don't really
smart
think of
people
him
like
as
to
a-
have fun.
Funny guy, but that's great.
Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from Major League Baseball, NHL, and UFC, and professional golf, BetOnline remains the number one source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline's casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
So these brothers go to this town to start the soap company. It's called the Matiform Soap Company, and they make a hard soap, like a
bar,
like a bar
bar
soap. Yeah. They eventually end up running 3 factories, and the soap is distributed across the country. Like, these guys are great at making soap.
Wow.
It's like just in their genes.
And they didn't even go to soap school.
No, they all got the certificate.
Oh, okay. They're all very good.
I just, once you say it once, I don't feel like. And then in January, Bertold got his soap certificate. His markings were.
I think I just want to know how easy it is to get certified because I plan on doing it after we stop recording.
Yeah, we should definitely look in. Maybe I assume now I can get my online soaping degree.
Oh God, that's so sad. No, I must be in Germany. One-way ticket. Leave my family.
Yeah.
Devote my life to soap.
So, and then 1908, Bertold, one of the sons that had started that company, he has a son. And this is our guy. This is who's important here. Emmanuel goes by Emil Heilbronner. And he's Bertold's oldest child and only son. And he has done a million interviews. He's talked a lot about like his childhood. He tells the story of being a Jewish kid growing up in a German neighborhood, and like kids just didn't want to play with him. He didn't have any friends, and he was very sad. And then there was this day where like these kids were like, "Hey, come over and play with us." And he got so excited. He runs over there, and these kids throw a bucket of urine on him and like call him like
Oh my God.
anti-Semitic names, and it's just this horrible experience for him. Part of me, like, I'm always trying to connect dots that are probably not there. I'm like, that led to him wanting to like be in this soap world, so he's like always constantly trying to be clean. But then I'm like, well, he was also the 3rd generation of the soap family.
think that
It's
might
not like
be-
he just like, if he was the first, I'd be like, clearly there's a thing here. But I'm like, that seems like probably a far-fetched.
Yeah, I think it was kind of front of mind for other reasons.
Yeah.
His dad is like, when are you going to get into soap? I mean, that was more likely.
I think that is kind of what it was like. He goes on to train as a soap maker's apprentice. There's apprentices in these places also, something that
I love it.
you never hear about really anymore.
So sad.
So he's an apprentice in the Matiform factories, and he has plans to take over the business. And he also gets his soap maker certificate, and he goes to university and gets a degree in chemistry. But he also starts to develop these views of humanity that didn't completely sync with his family's Jewish world viewpoint. And that was a little bit of what I said in the open. It's all about that only one, and like everyone should just kind of be there together with the earth and
Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
It's like this whole kind of, some of it sounds culty thing, but it's like, you know, it's what he believed in. He would be very vocal about these thoughts in the factory. His dad was like, you're being very disruptive here. You can't do this here.
Wow.
I'm going to give you an ultimatum. You either have to just stop talking about this stuff or you got to get out of here. What does he do? Gets out of there. It's 1929.
My God, that's a good scene. Turning on his father for Spaceship Earth.
This soap movie with the tie-ins, the bags at the Oscars, like it has everything.
It has everything. It's built for swag.
Built for swag. You have no idea. They make chocolate now. Did you know that?
I just literally yesterday saw an ad for chocolate and I was like shocked.
Yeah.
My jaw was on the floor. Couldn't
Dr.
believe
Bronner's chocolate. I should have got some. I didn't even think about it. So 1929, at the age of 21, Emil left Germany for the United States. And he is our third generation of soap maker.
Wow.
All right, so Emil's in America, and for the first decade, he works for a bunch of different soap companies, and he's helping them set up. He's using his chemistry degree to, like, come up with new products. He's, like, really making a go of it in the soap world. He drops Heil from his last name because Hitler's coming to be, and the Nazi greeting. He doesn't want to be associated with any of that. So now he just goes by Emanuel Bronner. He gets married in 1933 and has 3 children.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Is he like roaming the factory floor at Suave and he's like, so have you guys heard of this Spaceship Earth? Have you read anything about that? Because I got some really groovy ideas you might be interested in.
If he were to do that, he would not be shy about it. He'd be like, you guys have heard about Spaceship Earth, right? Like, here, I've written some stuff about it. I need you to know communism's terrible. You shouldn't put fluoride in public water. That's communism at its finest, and blah, blah. Like, I keep blah, blah, blahing this, people.
You're really blah, blah, blahing. It's very disrespectful.
I'm so disrespectful of the entire Bronner family, and I don't mean to be, because I find it such an interesting story.
I'm finding him to be quite a charming loon.
That is probably a perfect description of
Is he
him.
hot? I feel like he must be hot. Are you sure? Because this feels like hot guy energy to be like kind of the raving madman, but everyone's kind of like, I like him. I think he's kind of cool. It's like he's like ranting and raving about Spaceship Earth. It's like, I don't know. Let him stay. Let him work here. I don't know. I think he's got some fun ideas.
I think you're picturing him being played by Matt Damon.
maybe.
But he's not.
Are you sure?
I mean, most of the pictures I've seen him, he's quite old.
Okay, let's see him at 28.
And for all of our more mature listeners,
old people can be hot.
Old people can be hot. Thank you.
I want to see Dr. Bronner, age 28. Hot, question mark.
What, is this your like first AI search? Make them hotter.
Generate hotter. Maximum hotness generated.
Hotter soap maker.
Nude
soap.
Are you pulling him up, Al?
Yeah, I found a few nudes.
Is he young or old? Okay. Al is going to scour the web for a picture of him at age 28. 28 to 32.
All right, so now we're at the part of the story where Hitler really starts to come onto the scene as the situation for Jewish people.
Onto the scene.
Well, I'm trying to keep it a dark fact light for a podcast that's like happy.
I know it's funny to say Hitler was coming onto the scene.
Well,
he was coming onto the scene. Yeah.
I also struggled with this. Is how I'm going to say you got a bucket of pee-pee on him.
I think that's okay. None of this is coming across as anti-Semitic.
Well, no, I'm not worried about that, but I also want it to be like we're like a fun show.
Yes.
And his parents are about to die in concentration camps.
Oh, boy.
So
alert.
I have to get to that in the lightest way possible.
Hitler was crashing the airwaves.
All right, so now we're at the point where Hitler starts to come to power. And as the situation for Jewish people gets worse in Germany, he still has a lot of family over there. His parents are over there. He's got uncles. Everyone is still over in Germany. His uncle Karl, who was one of the three brothers that started the other soap factory in Germany, he brings his family to America and is the manager of a soap factory here. His uncle Sigmund dies in Germany in 1939, and then 3 years later, both his mom and dad were deported to concentration camps where they both ended up passing away.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and then only 2 years later, his wife, who had been ill and been in hospitals, also passes away.
Oh, my God.
So within like 3 years, this guy's lost both of his parents. He's lost his wife. He's just, a lot has happened.
Yeah.
Not to mention just the state of the world at the time. It's like...
no fun.
No fun. So he throws himself into the vision that brought him to America in the first place. He believed that we are all brothers and sisters on what he calls Spaceship Earth.
He's got a rockin' bod,
He's
abs
got
of steel.
Yeah, he's doing, this is the montage scene in the movie. He's like doing pull-ups. He's like drinking cups of soap and blowing bubbles.
Women are throwing their panties at him?
Yeah. Women are throwing their doubloons.
Doubloons.
Is that money?
I think that's pirate money.
Oh. This is the big montage part.
Okay, great.
He believes that there's more that connects us than divides us. He writes this whole series of principles that he called the moral ABC, that all faiths and philosophies could agree on, and that we are all one and from the same God, and should work hard and give back to the earth, and that everyone is connected. And every lecture that he was giving at the time would end with, "We are all one or none." And this literally just becomes his obsession.
Wow. I believe this also. This is also my philosophy.
It kind of, probably is.
I'm into this guy.
But would you do this? He's so obsessed with this thought and wants to travel the world with it.
Okay.
He puts his 3 children into foster homes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. They can't come with him?
No.
Why not?
It's just, the guy's gone a little, I believe, maybe a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
He sounds like he's a bit cuckoo for Cocoa
He's
Puffs.
gone through a lot. And he's like, listen, I've lost everything. Someone else can raise the children. And one of the kids I saw an interview with him, and he said there was times when they would be with him and times when he wouldn't. So I think it was kind of like a back and forth. It wasn't like, you're adopting my children, but it was like, you take care of them. I'm going to go spread the word. I'll be back.
I'm sure they don't mind that big fat payday they're getting now.
Honestly?
Big fat payday from daddy?
Honestly, Mar, like this company now, we'll get to it, but like they put caps on executive salaries that can only be 5 times more than the lowest paying person.
Wow.
So their executives are making like $200,000 when they could be making like millions and millions.
So certainly the kids, they're not like driving around in like new Teslas.
No, no, it seems like a great place to be completely honest, but we're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. So it's also at this time that he just decides to give himself the title of doctor.
I assumed he was a real doctor.
We all do. Anytime you see doctor, you kind of assume that they've earned that.
Dr. Pepper.
You've got Dr. Pepper. You've got Dr. Bronner. Dr.
Dr.
Scholes. He better be a doctor.
He better. He's the king of the foot.
The king of the foot. I kind of appreciated this because throughout my life, I've changed I took the H out of my name. Mm-hmm. I made myself John Glover III in college. Just
completely arbitrarily.
I wanted people to think I was from like a dynasty.
Sir John Glover.
You did poorly on this test, but we will give you a marking of very good.
I love that. You're just allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That's not false advertising. Wow.
No.
I was able to pull up a picture of him young. I can confirm he was hot.
He was just normal.
No.
I don't think he was,
we'll let everybody vote. We'll put up a poll and you can vote whether or not young Dr. Bronner was hot.
Would I Dyson him? Probably. Probably.
Call back to the previous episode we just recorded.
All right. So he's going around the country giving these speeches, right? He goes to the University of Chicago and he's given one of these speeches, and man, he's charged. He's freaking charged. So much so that he gets arrested. And he's charged with speaking without a permit.
Oh.
Public speaking without a permit. I didn't know that was a thing.
Wait, I assumed he was at the university like as an invited speaker. He was just like standing on a bucket outside of the dorm rooms.
A soapbox. He was standing on a soapbox. Apparently, people say that. I feel like that's just been added over time.
Okay, so this wasn't like a credible speaking tour. This was just him like roaming the nation.
No, not a credible doctor.
Great.
Not invited to speak.
Great.
Just speaking. It's a different time. So the way that his son tells this story, he gets arrested. He takes out his false teeth and his glasses. He's completely blind by this point, or almost completely blind, and just starts yelling about freedom of speech. And he's just so crazy about it. He's like getting foam in the corner of his mouth and just going off. Like, I'm allowed to do this. Wow. This is my right. Yada, yada.
Sounds hot.
Babe. Spring has sprung in your pants. Something is happening with you. So the police haul him off to a mental institution, which is what they were called at the time. I don't think they're called now. They're mental health facilities, but it was like
a sanitarium.
Yeah, like straight up sanitarium, mental health,
Funny Farm.
Funny Farm. So
they don't call them anymore.
No, it's no
back
longer
in our day. They did.
So they drag him there. They're not allowed to sign him in. So they reach out to his sister, and they're like, look, he's going crazy. Like, he should be here. We think he's insane. We need a family member to sign off on putting him in here. She's like, look, here's where we're at. She's a good person. Like, even Dr. Bronner later on will be like, my sister's a good person. She was doing what she thought was best. So I do not want to paint her as a bad person. But she's like, I love my brother. I've been concerned with him for some time. She's like, I want you to examine him. What I'm worried about is that, like, at his house, he has all these things on the wall, like all these like writings and stuff. Like, he's trying to like come up with like speeches or give himself a pep talk. He's writing the president constantly and telling him how to like run the country.
Wow.
She's like, but he's lost his parents. He's lost his wife. Like, he gave his kids away. He's like,
give him a break. Come on. Cut him some slack.
Yeah, exactly. He's like saying these things about spaceship Earth. She's like, I think he should be looked at.
Yes.
So they examine him, and they come back to her and they're like, look, our findings are that we think he needs to go through electroshock therapy.
Whoa.
And she signs off on it. He gets admitted this place, and he's in this place now getting electroshock therapy.
Did that like ever work?
I went through a teeny tiny rabbit hole when I was doing
You're going to
this.
say you went through a brief course of electroshock therapy.
I got shocked twice by accident. I mean, I think it depends on what your definition of work is. Like, I think it probably calms people
sedates
down.
people, but at what cost?
But I watched,
man, what a time.
What a time. Man. It's like, I watch videos. There's videos you can watch on YouTube. It's like the person before and after electroshock therapy. And they're like off the walls. And then they're just like, zombified.
Yeah.
So he's in this place. He talks about how like part of his therapy was like hard work. So like he would spend his days like mixing cement and then having electroshock therapy. And it's just not a fun scene. So he's in this institution for about a year and 4 months.
Oh my gosh.
During that time, he tries to escape twice. Third time, he's successful. He's able to escape the funny farm.
What that's like a local news story. Like, man escapes mental institution, like showing his picture. That feels like
literally have the headline. It's like, so man goes to mental, but it's actually years later because he was fighting something and someone found an old article and brought it back up.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. He like scaled a fence.
It's a good movie.
This is a hell of a flick.
Good movie.
Oscar bait.
So the way the family tells this story is his sister comes to visit him. I don't know if he escaped to meet the sister. I'm a little fuzzy on how he actually left the building. But he left the building. He has lunch with his sister. She goes to the bathroom. He steals $20 out of her purse and then bolts from that. He's like,
oh, wow.
I'm out of here. He gets a newspaper, finds someone in the newspaper that's looking to share a ride to California. He hooks up with that person. They hit it off. They start heading west. They get to Las Vegas, and the guy stops for gas, and Emil's feeling more comfortable with them at this point. They've been in the car probably for a couple of days, and he's like, man, it feels so good to be out of there. He's like, I know you don't know this, but I just escaped from an insane asylum. I'm going to go pee. I'll be right back.
Oh, even just that, like the things you learn about somebody on like a 4-day drive.
Yeah.
That is a lot of time to spend with a stranger.
Well, different time.
It was a different time, but I mean, still.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of time to spend with a stranger.
It really is.
And dropping that bomb. Wow, what did he do?
He went to the bathroom, and when he came out, the guy was gone. Car was gone. Everything was gone.
Wow.
The way he tells this story is then he goes to the Golden Nugget. They're in Las Vegas. He goes to the Golden Nugget.
Great
He's
casino.
able to take whatever is remaining of this $20 and in one night turn it into $400.
Wow.
Gets himself to California, and on the first night sleeps on the roof of the YMCA. Now he's in California.
Wow. What if like he didn't win at that roulette table?
What runny soap would I be using to wash my body with?
I don't know.
Probably none.
You wouldn't have a crusty 10-year-old soap in your shower right now.
Yeah, thank God.
That's beautiful.
Thank God for his luck at gambling. All right, so now we've got a meal in California. What better place for a little guy to be spreading his word?
Land of fruits and nuts, as my husband's uncle calls it.
Oh my God. Did I ever tell you about the time that I went to Las Vegas? And when you drive to Las Vegas, when you come back to California, there is an agricultural check, which
Yes.
90% of the time, I don't think there's anybody there, but there's definitely been.
It's very bizarre. They have you roll down their window and they peek in your car to see if you're smuggling any pineapples.
Yeah, they do. And I was like a young kid, and I like pull up, and they're like, "Do you have any fruits to declare?" And I was like, "Just me." Like, thinking I'm like so funny, and I like just dead face, like had nothing to say about it. I was like, "No, I have no pineapples." And he's like, "All right, go through."
Just
It's
me, as I said, but
just me.
good day,
It's like,
sir.
this is gonna. I'm headed to Hollywood. You're gonna hear this. You're gonna hear Matt Damon say this, and it's gonna kill.
You thought your joke would somehow like move from like the guy working at the agricultural checkpoint to like the head of Universal Pictures to put you in a new talkie.
You never know in this town how you'll
never
be
know.
discovered, especially back then. This is before a lot of things. All right, so he's in California. The people here are much more receptive
Of
to like
course.
his ideas. So he starts giving these sermons in California, and to thank people, he's giving them bottles of peppermint soap. Why wouldn't he? That's what he has at his disposal.
That he was able to have $400 and somehow like come up with the means to manufacture and bottle soap. It's beyond.
It's in his blood.
It's in his blood.
It's literally in his blood.
Wow.
That's what he does.
Peppermint blood. That would sting.
So he's doing this. And with after each sermon, he's like, here's some soap. Be sure not to put this on your junk. Because a tingle you will feel.
I mean, that probably was just the original label.
I really appreciate this next part because this would be me. He started to notice after a while that people were coming to the sermons, getting the soap, and leaving before the sermon.
That is so you.
I picture myself with like a little satchel, like, oh, I can't wait to hear what you say today, putting as many in my bag as I can, and then
Free sermon, gift bag included. Yes.
skedaddle out of there.
Skedaddle.
So he comes up with an idea. You know what that idea is?
Put the sermon on the soap.
bottle.
Wow.
Put the sermon on the bottle. He's like, I will just print my message all over these bottles. So I will put my philosophies and my thoughts and poems and quotes of people I admire. And it doesn't matter if they come to the sermon. They'll be able to read it all in the comfort of their home.
The shower is the perfect place to put a sermon.
Well, if you're not Alistair. Quick side note about our producer, Alistair. When he takes a shower, he uses a total amount of 3 cups of water. But we won't go into that whole story. Me, yes. I could stay in the shower for 50 minutes reading that bottle.
You could read Moby Dick in there.
Front to back.
Wow.
Okay, so now it's 1948, and he launches Dr. Bronner's. The Dr. Bronner's we know today
Wow.
that's celebrating their 76th anniversary this year. When it first launches, he's got food products, he has food seasonings, he has nutritional supplements, and of course his famous liquid peppermint soap. The soap becomes the star of the show.
The runaway hit.
1956, he reaches out to one of his sons, who, remember, has been in and out of foster care. And is like, yo.
He's like, Dad, you called. It's my birthday. It's like, yeah. Anyway, I was just wondering. I have this new soap. People are really latching
no, let's
on
act
to.
out. You be the son. You be the
Okay.
son.
Hello,
Oh, hey,
Dad.
Yeah.
Is that you?
it is. It's me.
Oh my God, I haven't heard from you in years and years. How are you? Where are you living? What's going on?
I need some help paying bills.
What?
I'm going to
Why?
fly you out here, and I need you to help me pay some bills.
But I'm a kid still. How old am I?
No, he's old enough. He's like 20 or whatever.
I'm old enough. I guess I can make it work.
Yeah, so he calls his son and is like, I need help paying bills. The son's like, I don't know why he's calling me. I'm poor.
Yeah.
But his dad flies him out there. His son shows up, and his dad has a 2-story. This reminded me a lot of HEB. Had a 2-story apartment. On the second floor, he's turned into a one-man soap factory. And this is in LA. I mean, he's like on Wilcox or whatever in an apartment. The second floor, barrels of liquid soap that he's making.
Nowadays, that apartment is probably like $6,000 a month.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Don't even get me started. Imagine if you lived below a soap factory, how mad you would be at your upstairs neighbors.
I've got this guy mixing drums of soap all day. Yeah, I'm going to be mad.
Rolling them from one end of the room to another.
Oh, my God.
Have your neighbors been mad at you lately? Have you done anything to make them mad?
I mean, there was some leaking, but that's not their fault. Now I'm depressed. That's our show.
No. Bring it back. Bring it back.
So he's mixing this liquid soap in drums by himself. He's pouring it in bottles by himself. And, he's just doing what he can to, like, keep this company going that he's launched. And then...
Surprisingly industrious for a loon.
I know. I don't know that he's actually a loon. I think he's just very passionate with... I think he's more passionate than loon. They're both in there, but...
I mean, just, like, even just the self-discipline to, like... I don't know, buy the drums, source the drums, like source the materials. Like this is pre-internet. Like you're like flipping through a phone book looking for like commercial soap factory materials.
Yeah, getting the drums. There's a picture of him in this apartment outside, and he had to like, and why on the second floor? Put the soap factory on the first floor.
How about you sleep on the second floor and the soap factory's on the first floor? How about that?
He's like, now this is where the loon comes in. He's like, I don't know what's easier, me going upstairs to sleep or me carrying drums upstairs to make soap. I'll make the soap upstairs. And then, like, there's a picture of the apartment outside where he had to, like, take off the guardrail from the little outdoor patio on the second floor so they could get the drums down into the truck.
Okay, he is a loon.
So he's working on this company, and then he has a very fortunate thing happen. The hippies. 1960s and 1970s, the hippies hit the scene. We've got counterculture, granola 11 people that are just made for this soap and these words that he's peddling.
I mean, 1960s and 70s is like peak hippie cult, health food as like religion, a lot of like sprouts, wheatgrass, people are wanting to live a cleaner lifestyle, but they're also wanting to learn about Spaceship Earth. So this really is like the perfect combo of his interests.
It really is. Like it couldn't have come at a better time. And I did some searches on old newspaper sites, and like the only thing I could find for Dr. Bronner's, they, by the way, have zero advertising budget. They do not advertise. It's not part of their philosophy
at
all.
The hippies talk.
The only time he would come up, it would be ads for health food stores. And they'd be like, and we carry Dr. Bronner's like liquid soap.
I love that.
So by the 1970s, he's gone completely blind, which he blames on the electroshock therapy that he got in the insane asylum. But it didn't slow down his mission to get his message out. The way that he saw it, the more soap he could get out, it wasn't like the more money I could make, it's more people that will be reading what I think everybody needs to know. That's the whole thing with all these. Like, I want to call it a cult because I guess it kind of is, but it's like getting your message out. Like,
yeah, if it is a cult, it's like the least harmful.
I think not all cults are bad. Like, I think there's a cult mentality for...
Yeah. It's also, like, not expensive. If the soap was, like, $400 a bottle to read the message, but it's quite reasonably priced.
Right.
And it's a message which I stand behind. We are all one on Spaceship Earth.
All one on Spaceship Earth. I mean, all that's still on the bottles today, by the way. Like, they have kept it pretty faithful. I went to Target yesterday to look at the bottles. I didn't know each bottle was different. There's 1 trillion words on each bottle. None of them are the same.
Wow. Okay. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of reading that's basically like buying a 6-part series of books.
That's great.
If you want to look at those labels.
Good for him.
Yeah. Good for him.
He's an inspiration to loons everywhere.
Oh my God. Speaking of loon, he even put his phone number on the label at the time so that people could call him with questions about his philosophy.
Not about the soap.
Not about the soap.
Someone's like, hey, I have a ketchup stain on my... It's like, no.
Communism is bad. Yeah. He was just always about the mission, I think. I watched a documentary on him too, and like even as he was, getting to be an older man, he would always eat healthy. And like when his family would go like drive into town, he would run alongside of the car, like holding onto the car. But like he was just a healthy, kind of eccentric guy.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah. So he would continue to run the company for years until he ended up losing his battle with Parkinson's in March of 1997. So after he passes away, we're now in generation 4 of this soap family.
Oh my God.
These are his 2 children, Jim and Ralph. And they had to kind of like, they're of a different generation. Like Emil had like tried to convince, he didn't pay taxes because he was saying that this wasn't like a soap factory. This is kind of like a mission.
Mm-hmm. Like a nonprofit
church. Like a church kind of thing. So they got sued with like back taxes.
Wow.
So these kids kind of had to clean up that mess. Mm-hmm. His son Ralph and his wife would take what they would call these soap trips around the country. And the documentary I watched, which was from, it looks like it's from 1964, but it was from 2007. Like, I don't know why it looks, it's like it's shot on like a handheld, like one of those big VHS recorders that you put on your shoulder.
They found one of those at a garage sale and used that to film their documentary. Where's it streaming in case anybody wants to watch it?
YouTube.
Oh, wow. So maybe this is like an unofficial documentary.
No, it was official. I think it's just like Hulu's not like, we got to get that Bronner soap doc. They're like, eh. It was on It said, when I searched it, it said it was on Amazon Prime, but it was no longer on there. So, and maybe that's why it looks bad. Maybe it's whoever posted on YouTube just put some weird copy.
Maybe.
But anyway, these guys do these soap trips around the country where they would load up their van and go to different mom and pop like health food stores in different cities. He would take his guitar. They would spread the word of his father.
So they're still kind of like on the mission. They're not like just about the soap. They are like bought in Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, I feel like the next 2 generations are like not... like almost in the generation now, and we're about to get to them, almost in a more thoughtful way, like less manic, but like this is kind of what he's saying. This is how we can go about it.
So they're hippies also. They're not like just businessmen.
Well, I don't know if I would call them hippies, to be honest. No, because they like went to Harvard and like they
wow.
But then like ended up getting in the business, or one of the grandsons did.
Are they hot?
Oh my God, babe. Get a cup of water for your loins. I don't know what is going on with you. This is like me on the Dyson thing with the sucking. It's like, can't either of us just.
Sucking and hot guys. What more do we need?
So it's like the definition of like a grassroots thing. His other son, Jim, unfortunately, was diagnosed with lung cancer only 3 months after his dad passed away. He only ends up living for another year, but in that year, he's the one that's kind of cleaning up like the tax stuff.
God, what a way to spend your last year.
I know, right?
Like audited by the IRS.
The good thing about it is, and we're jumping ahead only by a few seconds, Generation 5, his kids, who were not going to be involved in this company at all, they had gone to school and were doing their own thing. One of them decides to come back in that year. He's like, he actually, well, we'll just get into it now. So Jim has 2 sons, Mike and David, and they're like more our age. They're born in the 70s. I know.
Our age, yeah. Our age.
They're ish our age, 70s, 80s. So they both go to college. They both have jobs. But
they're like, I'm not going to get into soap. I'm not going to get into soap.
Soap is Dad's thing. I don't think this is funny, but I literally wash my hands of being in the soap factory.
But lo and behold, David takes a trip, and Alistair's going to love this. David takes a trip to Amsterdam and has a spiritual rebirth by way of psychedelics. Everyone's getting a really funny picture of Al in these snippets. He takes really short, stupid showers
while he's on mushrooms.
Psychedelics.
I'm clean, man. Yeah, so you've got this guy who's like, I'm not going in the soap business. Then he gets all high and crazy, and literally he's like, Grandpa was on to something.
Oh my God.
Calls his dad, and he's like, I went in.
They all come crawling back.
I went in the soap business. This is literally the year before he ends up passing. So
wow.
He ends up spending that last year cleaning up the company, but also with his son wanting to take the reins.
Yeah.
So it kind of was very serendipitous.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's on board with that message, and that's who we're at now. We're at Generation 5. Mike and David are the 2 people running the company now, and it's so much that they do. I can't go into all of it, but it's like, They are the first body care that had hemp seed oil. They are all about like advocating for animal welfare and fair pay and fair farming practices and fair labor and soil health and the climate. And it's literally just like, they're all about the mission. They give 70% of net profits away to like working on like these things. Like unless everything they're saying is a lie, they seem like they've done things with like Patagonia. Like I think they're in that group of companies that is really trying to make the world a better place. And all the executives aren't just like live in large and don't give two shits about things.
Which is interesting because like these days, there's no shortage of companies that are claiming to be like environmentally friendly and whatever. But at the same time, that's just like they call it greenwashing. It's just like the label stuck on there. They put a little green leaf and the font is whatever. And it makes you think that it's like a natural, and it's very expensive, usually stuff that's like made to be healthier for the planet. This is a very affordable product and they're walking the walk.
Yeah, and I think the difference is a lot of those companies that greenwash things, it's a brand within a corporation.
Absolutely.
It's part of a portfolio. Like I've done so many shows now that are like these family legacy brands. It's like in and out and just like generation after generation, it's like instilled within them. And it's like, it's really fascinating to me. This is not a part of brands that until I started doing this podcast and these research that I paid attention to, like when you have these multi-generational companies, how they not only like believe in the same thing, but how each one moves it forward in a different way. Like these two boys that are like running.
They are hot.
They're Dyson material.
Dyson worthy.
They're Dyson worthy. They take this company, when they started, it's making $4 million. It's now a $200 million company.
Wow, yeah.
Like, so they
never sold. So they're not like Procter and Gamble.
And it's like in and out. Like so many companies have been like, we'll buy it, we want you. They're like, that's not what we're about.
That would be really hard to turn down the like, we're going to offer you whatever, $500 million to.
Not if you believe in what. It's like when, I mean, not to get like religious, but like I talk to people that are super religious and like, I'm scared to death. They're like, well, you wouldn't be if like you have the same belief system. If you believe in something, it changes how,
of course,
like your concern about things.
Yeah. To them, it's not even about the money. It's just like getting the message out to as many people as possible.
Right.
Wow. Good for them.
Which is cool.
I love these boys.
Now, I did read an article, like a more current article about what it's like to go there. And it was a tiny bit cringe.
Wait, go where? To like the factory?
To go, like if you're like a new hire at Dr. Bronner's and you go there. I'll just give you a few snippets of that because it's like, oh God, like it's not bad at all, but it's also like, oh man, I would just have a hard time keeping a straight face. So like you go to this company and like it says you get there and it's like just a sea of electric vehicles. That's great. I'm sure that's fine. You get a charge for free at work if you have a vehicle. They have a company garden that everyone contributes to. You're allowed to take whatever you want from it. Me, of course. Everyone's like, why are we not producing vegetables anymore? It's like John took them all and they've all rotted in the back of his car.
2 tote bags full of zucchini.
Yeah.
John.
Okay, so then here we go. So then they have what they call the Dr. Bronner's Welcome Wagon, which this is a quote from GQ magazine. A crew of impossibly upbeat humans who can best be described as vibey. These cultural ambassadors, when they are not planning their annual trip to Burning Man, wear tie-dyed mechanic coveralls and drive around Dr. Bronner's HQ blasting disco from a psychedelically outfitted fire truck.
Oh my God.
They call themselves the Foamy Homies.
Oh my God. That is like...
This whole last like part of my research was so off-brand from like the 2 days I spent reading about this company.
Where it's all kind of like
oat
milk and mung beans and like cozy and hippie and hemp hearts. And then now it's Foamy Homies.
Yo, we're the Foamy Homies.
That's rough.
Oh, it gets worse.
Okay.
The new hires make their way to the conference room for their employee, and I hate onboarding. I hate the word onboarding. I'm not a corporate person. I've had to hear that word more lately, but I just hate it. Anyway, It's just part of the world. They make their way to the conference room for their employee onboarding session, where they have been prompted by the Foamy Homies to introduce themselves by showing off their preferred dance moves.
I swear, before you even said that, when you said onboarding, I thought they're going to make them dance. I don't know why. It just seemed like the right amount of awful.
Oh,
Terrible.
It's terrible.
I would sue.
So they have to do these dance moves while there's a fog machine pumping clouds into the
No,
room.
a fog machine?
Fog machine.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So listen, they're a great company, I think, but I thought that was kind of funny. A fun fact I came across in 2018, the two brothers that are running the company now, David and Mike, the very first home that Generation 1 with the 11 children and the soap factory in the basement came up for sale in Germany. And they were able to go over there and purchase it. There was a kind lady who was selling the building, and they told her the story, and they were able to buy it. They've now turned that into an assisted living home for adults with autism and a very small museum about their family's soap making history. In the basement.
Wow.
In the basement, in the very first basement from
love
1850, whatever.
That's great.
So
Good for them.
that's pretty much what I have. I threw in a couple of things in there just this year alone. They've announced that they have salted dark chocolate that is now regenerative organic certified, which is the first ever chocolate product to achieve that certification. And in February, they launched new refill cartons. I don't know if you've seen that. They're paper. They look like milk cartons.
Yes.
So they're just,
Good for them.
continuously trying to do good things. These are good boys running this company, and I'm curious to see if they will have children that will then go on to. And then one of their wives, Lisa, is the one that runs that website, who just gives fun tips, and it's kind of like a blog about the company and
That's
the
really
history
cute.
and all that.
So this is a company you can feel really good about supporting and give yourself a little extra reading material in the shower.
Yeah, if you haven't used it, I do find, and I don't know if it's because maybe they don't invest a lot of money in advertising or play like the store games, they seem to always be on the bottom shelf.
Interesting.
They're not at eye level usually. They're always kind of tucked away. But
Well, and that's the whole thing. I mean, everything that's in a store, somebody paid to put it there.
Well, I know. I learned that on Shark Tank. You know how hard it is to get shelf space?
And the end cap?
The
Come
end
on,
cap?
forget
Come
about
on.
it. They're not wasting money on an end cap, okay? That's money that can go to the Dolphins.
Or because of David's trip, Al, you'll like this. He is a huge advocate on trying to legalize a lot of these psychedelic drugs.
Oh, so that's where your money's going.
That's where some of you can go on their website. They're literally, maybe all companies are like this. The breakdown they do, they're like, we spent exactly this much this year on this. What we're trying to do with this and this and this. It's all broken down.
fully transparent. I
So,
love that.
Yeah, that's Dr. Bronner's. If you've never tried it, go grab a bottle, brush your teeth, wash your car, clean your dog, and let us know how
Tingle
it
your
works.
genitals.
You need your genitals to tingle? Go get the peppermint.
Well, what a fun episode, John. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for listening.
As always. Thank you.
Oh, I want to give a shout out to a brand freak who has been incredibly loyal to the show. She always comments on Instagram and is like literally the day after a day a show drops, she's always like, oh my God, I love this part and this part. You can ask her anything about the show and she knows all about it. Her name's Fiona. She lives in California and she's graduating college this spring.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just so happy to have her as a fan and as a friend. And I'm just very proud of her.
Way to go, Fiona.
Shout out to Fiona.
Thank you so much, John, for a wonderful episode. I love learning about Dr. Bronner's. And as we always say at the end of the show, if you like the show, please subscribe, rate, and review. Give us a lovely 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. If you have a brand you would like us to talk about, you can write to us on Instagram or any thoughts on Dr. Bronner's. Does it make your genitals tingle? Do you like that or not like it? You can comment to us on our page at OnBrandThePod. You can see clips of the show and write to us there. On TikTok at On Brand the Podcast. And we will be back next week with an all-new episode of On Brand.
And remember, we may go off topic, but we will always be on brand.
Bye.
Bye.
Are you looking for a new job or want a career change? Look no further than Monster.com. Need a little help standing out? Our expert resume writing services will make sure you shine. Want to brush up on your interview skills? Engage with our AI interview prep tool. Want some advice on negotiating your new salary? Visit our salary tools and extensive library of career advice articles, and you'll have all the tips and tricks you'll need to succeed. Visit Monster.com today and take the first step towards your career. Monster.com. Find your right job fit.